Hello, my name is Steve Faulkner. This is Real Magic Review, and today I'm going to be reviewing Socks by Michel Huot. Okay, before we bang on with the review, can you please have a look at cardmagiccourse.com. This is my online card magic course from beginner to professional. It's got everything from how to hold a deck to second deals, bottom deals, and now we've got permission to teach some tricks on it by lovely people, from lovely people like Richard Kaufman, Daryl's wife Alison, who's given me permission to teach a couple of tricks from the Daryl books, and we're going to be expanding that as well. So go and have a look at cardmagiccourse.com. Exciting times on that front. And can you please like and subscribe? That'd be lovely. Please like, subscribe, comment, get into the discussion, because that's kind of what this is about. It's not just about reviewing tricks, it's about the discussions around those tricks that we can have as a community. So let's get on with the review. So the first time I saw a trick like this was in the session, and it was Joshua J showed this clip of Kreskin doing this trick and getting a really hard time from David Letterman, which is really worth looking at. If I remember, I'll put the link down below. If I forget, do remind me. And I thought it was a great trick, really different, really fun. And Michel has credited Kreskin on this trick, so it's not his original idea, but he's taken it into created a way that we can do this as magicians in close-up and of course on stage. So first of all, the routine is you have these cards, and I'll show you these cards now. And Kreskin did this with actual boxes of socks, you'll see, but these cards which have pictures of socks on them, and you show 2 packs of cards which you get in this lovely thing. And this is quite, by the way, just as an aside, this is quite hardy. This you know, sometimes you get these little packet trick wallets that are kind of really thin. This is a big sort of stitched thing, so which I thought was quite handy, because this is, you kind of need this. But you have 2 decks of cards, and you turn them over one at a time, and you show that the socks are all odd. So you turn over 2 cards and they're odd socks, and you talk about the presentation about how you always lose one sock and you have loads of odd socks at home. So every time you go through and you say, right, you're going to say stop, they say stop, and the idea is that you're going to find a matching pair, right? That's what you say. So you turn the cards over, they say stop, you carry on turning them over, showing that all the cards are not matched, and you show that their card also hasn't matched. So it's like the trick's gone wrong. It's like, oh man, we haven't found a matching pair. Hope that makes sense. And then you turn them over, they see that they're not matching, they think the trick's gone wrong. You then roll your trousers up and you're wearing the same pair of odd socks, which is brilliant. It's a lovely unexpected moment, especially if you can sell that thing of God, I've got the trick wrong. Then there's a kicker where you've put the cards back together, you then turn them all over again, and you've got all the cards matching, all the socks are matching. So there's the trick. If that isn't a garbled explanation, isn't good enough, have a look at the trailer. I like the trick straight away for the reasons I always talk about when we get tricks like this that feel a bit different. It's because they're different, and we're all looking for a different kind of trick that isn't a card trick. Yes, it uses cards, but it's different, and obviously, but different isn't good enough. Like I've said again and again and again, it has to be different and good, and play strong and novel. And this seemed to have all that in it. It seemed to have the unexpected, or the 2 unexpected kickers, because they think the trick's over, and then you've got this addition at the end. But I wanted to see what it played like, and I went out. I got this like 3 days ago, learned it very quickly, and then took it out the next day. And I don't do kids shows, but I do this school every year. And it's a leavers party, so it's like 12-year-olds, I think, 11 and 12-year-olds. Now, some of you will be saying, well, they're an easy audience. To me, that's the most difficult audience, because that's not my demographic. So if I can impress kids of that age, I know I'm on a winner, because they haven't got that politeness. If something's rubbish, they'll sort of won't react, right? So it's quite a good age to try tricks on. If they go well, for me, it's a good sign. So I thought I had this class. I thought I'll take the trick out, and it is that kind of trick that you imagine would work well with that age group. And I've got some footage of this, and it is, sorry, the footage isn't great, because obviously I had to be very sensitive of how it was filmed, so you've got just me and nobody, but what I want you to do is listen to that reaction. And they definitely aren't the sort of kids that are reacting to everything like that. And you can actually hear when I get the they think the trick's wrong. It's just silence. Nobody's doing that polite thing that sometimes adults do of going yay or ah or something. They're just like, no, they got it wrong, never mind, next.
You can like 10 minutes yeah, they're odd.
So that was even more, and it was a kind of a weird, odd moment, because I usually do that of adults, and it kind of plays more comfortable. I don't know why, but so the reaction was great. So again, I'm like, oh, okay. So the trick, for me, the trick works. Now I am going to take this out to an adult audience, but I've got no worries. To me, it's tick that box. So the good things about this, the trick, I like the trick. You might not like the trick because it's not going to fit everybody. If you're a super serious mentalist and you're kind of pretending to contact the dead, you're probably not going to want to do that. I'm not that mentalists do that, I'm not saying that, but I'm being flippant. But you're not going to want to do this. So obviously it has a fun feel to it. But I think it's a strong trick. I think it has the unexpected thing. If you can play the failure thing well, then that's going to add to it. And it has this kicker at the end, which seems, it's like he says on the download, it seems that it doesn't fit. It's like, that's the strong bit. So why would you have this addition? And it's a difficult one, isn't it? Because I do think those additions work sometimes. It's like an afterthought. It's not like this is better than the trick you just saw. It's an unexpected afterthought, which is strong enough to get a second reaction. And I think that's the same with the Venom Cube, which I did on stage since I reviewed it. And the Venom Cube, the same. You do this match, which is the main trick, and then you can do an instant solve. And logically, me and my friend Gareth were talking about this. Logically, that doesn't seem to work because it's probably in a way a completely different thing, but it does. It's an addition. They think the trick's over and do this instant solve, and it's like a really, really strong effect. So I like all that. I like the fact it's easy. I looked at this and took it straight out. Now I do work with cards, and there is, you know, you've got to land on two certain cards. That's all I'm going to say. I know it's not exposure, but we're all magicians here. So, and the way you do that is not something I'm that comfortable with. It's timing, and I haven't done that many of those timing type things. They're not out of any choice. I don't use them that much. So in a close-up situation, when you're doing a timing thing, there are different ways of working around that if it doesn't go quite well, like a classic force sort of thing. But on stage, I wasn't going to do it. I was going to do an alternative, but I thought, oh no, I'll go for it, and it worked. I'm sure there were times where it doesn't. There are ways that Michel in this gives you of doing it in a more foolproof way, with a cross-cut force and all that, which is still strong, but you can't do the bit at the end. So it kind of changes the routine a little bit. And there are outs in this. Okay, he does provide you with outs that are, again, not quite so strong, but you're still going to get a reaction with that. So I like the trick. It's easy. Obviously angles aren't a problem. It's a surprising thing. You can't do it wearing shorts and sandals like I'm wearing today because it's a really hot day, so you've got to be dressed in certain things, but ticks a lot of boxes there. It's a really good usable trick. Now close up, this can obviously work. You are going to need a bit of table space to have two decks of cards on. But there are ways, if you're imaginative, I suppose, of doing it differently with two different people and not doing certain parts of the trick. And you are going to have to stand back and, you know, show your socks. Now, the problem with that for me is that if I'm doing a close-up gig, by the end of the evening, or if I'm doing 2 days in a row in the summer, those socks are going to be a little bit fusty. And you're not going to be wanting to put the same socks on 2 days. Now, of course you can wash them, but you know, in certain situations it might be hard to do that. So the main issue for me is I would have liked an extra pair of socks in there. I'd have even paid a bit extra, and I have no doubt they're going to be selling the two socks that you use for this. And they're good quality socks, by the way. They're not just tacky crap. You know, they're going to last you. But I'd have liked a couple of pairs just so I know I've got a backup. And I'll happily buy a second set. I'm sure they will sell them, and I'm not sure they will on release, because I know it's been released very, very soon. But that's a big one for me. You're not going to be wanting to pop those on 3 days in a row if you're doing a theme park every day or something like that. But the trick is really suited for that kind of environment. So that's the only other thing. Like I said, the stuff's made really well. The cards are really, really thick, so they're going to last you. You get 2 extra cards with them, and you'll see why when you do the setup. There's a little bit of a setup with this, but you're going to be able to take this and do it very, very quickly, really. So that's Socks. It's released by Vanishing Ink. All the links and everything will be down there. Please do like and subscribe, comment, get involved, and thank you very, very much for watching. Cheers.